Okay, so welcome back to my channel, and we were discussing about EC2 machines. Yeah, for sure. So we have gone through like what is instance, what is launch template, export, reserve, dedicated, and scheduled instances. We have gone through. Now, what is AMI? AMI means this is the most beautiful feature of AWS, and for exam purpose and for your obviously interview purpose. So you should have quite detailed information about AMI, like what AMI do you need to select, and what is AMI and what and all. So AMI means uh, AMI is this predefined software template which contains your operating system and that is executable image for your OS. Like as we know, we have QCOW image for your VM and your KVM sort of stuff, hypervisor. So AMI is for AWS, fine. Now, what is AMI? Let us see here, like what sort of AMI is, and how do we check that what all AMIs are available here. So yes, we can go through this particular section. This is for like choose an Amazon machine image, which is AMI. So AMI means Amazon machine image. So you should be quite careful before selecting any AMI. It means you are going to select Linux AMI, but vendor is Amazon. This contains this is working on HVM technology. It means hardware assisted virtualization. It is working on. This contains SSD volume type. It means the particular machine which you will create that will contain SSD as a root disk volume. Then after root disk type, the root device type will be EBS. It means that this machine will be able to be rebooted. It means if you stop it today, you can start this machine again. As we have two type of disk available as root disk type. First of all is EBS, which is elastic block storage, and second one is instance store. There is a huge difference between both. EBS means data is persisted on this sort of storage. It means you can reboot your machine, you can restart your machine, you can shut down machine today, and you can start it again tomorrow. But if it is instance store, if you stop your machine today, so it shall not come up after a couple of minutes even. Once you stop it, that machine is destroyed completely. These are some specific type of machines. Like these are for testing purposes only. These are quite cheap machines, so you shall not use instance store type machine for your production environment. I'll show you within a while only like how to go for all these machines. Like virtualization type is either you can have like HVM. This is hardware assisted virtualization, or you can have your para virtualization. So these are the some key points which you need to keep in mind before selecting an AMI. Moreover, you should be quite clear about what all software you need, like Amazon AMI, Amazon Linux AMI is an EBS bed, AWS supported image. This default image includes AWS command line tool. It means if you need to work with Amazon command line, so it already has. Otherwise, you will have to install later on. It has Python, it has Ruby, it has Perl, it has Java, and the repository includes Docker. So obviously, if you need to install Docker, so you will have to write down within your after launching machine like yum install Docker, and that should work. If you need to have MySQL if you want to have like PostgreSQL and other packages. So in a nutshell, you can say EPEL. It means extra packages for enterprise Linux is already configured with this AMI. So be quite sure like all the steps are already available. Then after you can simply go for your AMI selection. Fine. Now AWS AMI or my AMIs, if you have any AMI credit in your own account, so this will get appeared here. If you want to purchase something like some purchasing options are there. For example, you want to have any Barracuda software, or you want to have any Juniper firewall, or you want to have any third-party software you want to have within your operating system. Let us say you want to have F5, BIG, big IP virtual instance, and so on. Like softness, you want to have like F5 virtual edition. You want to have LAMP enabled and SNX enforcing. CentOS OS, so you want to have, but these are paid options. Fine. So after that, community AMI if you want to go for, so here you can find a lot of AMIs available, which are freely available, and maybe a couple of are paid as well. So you will have to find it out. So first of all, operating system you want to have, let us say I want to have only CentOS. So only CentOS will be available here. All the version you are claiming, so these are built on the top of CentOS itself. Then after Let us say I want to go only for 64 bits, so no 32-bit operating system will be shown here. So all the available operating system which are providing 64 bits, so these are available here. Now the main thing which I was trying to explain, so that was instance store. Okay, so here we go. So only Amazon is providing instance storage, and second thing is like para virtualization. So parameter means like you will have to have some additional software installed to work with that machine in proper manner. So for example, you can think of earlier we used to work with VMware workstation where we used to create some machine, and we used to install some additional VMware tools within that virtual machine just to ensure that we shall be able to drag and drop from my physical desktop to that virtual machine's desktop. That should be example of para virtualization. But if you talk about KVM, so KVM has already these features enabled, and that is ready to use within that environment. Fine. So this is for AMI selection, and obviously there are two type of root disk type, EBS and instance store. So you should select only EBS for the production environment. It is never suggested to go for instance store. Then after the bit of operating system you are going to use, that is 64 or 32 bit. Then after your operating system vendor you can select, and so on. So this is something about your AMI. Fine. So let us go back to our EC2 console where we were working already. So we have gone through AMI. Just have patience. You will definitely get to know a lot of information about EC2 during these videos. So there will be maybe 2 or 3 more, because I got a request from a couple of my old students. Those they were saying, "Hey, we want to have all the scenarios which you covered inside the classroom and all." So definitely I'm going to let you have that stuff. So bundle stack is for different purpose, so we will discuss later on. Now volume. So all the hard disk we are going to create inside your account, so this will appear under volume. Then after snapshot, as I have already discussed. So these are backup of this stuff, these volumes. Security group means firewall rules, and all the stuff which we already discussed within EC2 introduction section. So these are covered here. Now load balancing, target group, and auto scaling, this will be covered in next section. So this is it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good time.